What does it mean to focus on the I am awareness? Is it some sort of is it the affirmation that we are using, or what is it? Well, I am is a spiritual concept from uh, basically from the all spiritual ideologies say something about God in man. Some say it's the divine spark, others say it's the inner being, others say it's the spirit of God in man. Neville Goddard says it's Christ within you. Basically, when you will die, you will still exist. So you are not your body or your thoughts. You are something behind that. When you deeply meditate, when you really meditate, you can try it actually. Meditate and just try to empty your mind. Don't do imagination. Don't try to reject your thoughts. Just sit still and know, as the title of the video is, be still and know. So try to be still, and initially you will have a lot of thoughts, a lot of garbage will come up to your mind. That's the ego. But invariably, if you stay still and continuously practice, maybe the first day you won't be able to do it, but the second day you might not be able to do it. But invariably, you will reach a state of mind, not a state of mind, a state of existence where there will be no thought. Nothing will come. You will have no thought. You will just exist. And you will know that you exist, and you will just exist as pure awareness. This is the I am awareness. When you die, you will have this awareness. You will leave your body, but you will have this awareness. When you are dreaming at night, my cat is doing rowdy stuff. So when you will be dreaming, when you dream at night, you can play many different characters, you do many different things, but you still know that you exist, right? You may not know that you are Poonam, but you will know that you exist. So when you say, I am abundant, you are not saying that my ego is abundant. Ego is just an identity. You are not saying Poonam is abundant. You are saying God in me is abundant. The presence of God in me is abundant. So when you affirm with your I am awareness, you are saying that God is abundant. Therefore, I am abundant. God is love. I am love. When you say I am love, you are invoking the name of God first. That God is love. Therefore, I am love. But if you say, oh, Poonam, me, I have love, it will feel fake. You'll be like, no, I don't. My SP doesn't love me. I am lying to myself. But when you say, I am blissfully married and we are happily living together, you are invoking the God in you, and God does all the work. So what you are basically saying is that my God in me, please, I am being this person in my reality. Now please manifest everything around me and shape it for me. Now please may sound like you're begging. No, you're not saying begging. You are saying, please move forward with this request. And it's done after that. When you say, I am this, and you don't go back on it, you have used the name of God, and God always says yes, and it is done after that. This is why focusing with your I am awareness is you are transcending your ego, and you are affirming and imagining from the higher vision, higher self consciousness, the state of God in you. And then resistance is not there. And when resistance comes, you are like, you say, this is not who I am. I'm not Poonam. I'm not this identity. So I don't have to resist it. So it will say, but your SP doesn't love you. You're like, it's okay. I'm multidimensional. I am God. I'm one with God. So yes, one version of me is not loved, but I am invoking now a version of me that is loved. I'm choosing where and how to operate the God within me and what to manifest, right? So this empowered state of I am is what I talk about. I am invoking your higher self, not the ego. So it's to disidentify. It's all of this is just to disidentify with the ego. because ego is the biggest problem for most people. When they say, oh, but I cannot believe it, but I cannot believe it, what are they saying? They're saying my ego cannot believe it. God believes everything. God never said no to nothing. Who is saying no to anything? It's your ego. And every single one of you is having trouble with the ego, not with God. God never said no to nothing. So it's to elevate yourself above from the ego, to transcend it, and to manifest with a better self concept, with another version of you, with another identity, your desired identity. So this is why you say, I am this, or I am lavish, I am earning a lavish income, or I am abundant. You say that from your God self, not from your lower self. So that is the I am awareness. So Free says, when you spoke of karma in your last video, it may be people have karma, but when they work enough, karma could also be defined as self-imposed or externally imposed limitation and limiting beliefs. And when you work through, yes, but is what traditionally used the word karma is used as God punishing you, because you have done some bad deeds and you will have to work through them to get what you want or to purify yourself. But I believe that one moment of saying that I am forgiven yourself, and really feeling yourself to be forgiven, and saying that now I'm transcending that version of me, get rid of everything, all of it. Whatever you think is holding you back is gone. But you have to really declare it with conviction. So what karma imposes upon is that you have to work through. It's a long, tedious journey of purification. While I think the purification can happen in an instant, absolutely in the now moment, all of it can be gone in the now moment if you convict yourself enough. As Christ said, let the weak man say I am strong, right? So you can say, oh, you are weak and you have disease because of karma, and you have done all these bad things in the previous life. That's why you will have to go on a long journey of purification, and go on all these temples, and have this pilgrimage to Buddha, do all these things, and walk barefoot in the valley of the saints, and then you will be forgiven. Well, all you gotta do is let the weak man say I am strong. And if the weak man says that he is strong with conviction, karma is gone. There is no such thing as karma left. But that's what I'm trying to say, that you can choose to be who you desire to be. As there was this prostitute that came to Jesus, and she told him her entire story, that she has been sinning for all these years. What did Jesus told the prostitute? Go and sin no more. That's it. You're forgiven. Go and sin no more. Years and years of prostitution, years and years of baggage, years and years of karma, decades of karma. And Jesus told her, go and sin no more. This is how you get rid of all your previous limiting beliefs, by not choosing them anymore. Go and sin no more. Go and do not say that you are weak. Go and do not say that you are poor. Go and do not say that you are not who you desire to be. You see? So everything can be forgiven in a matter of a moment with strong enough conviction. That's my standing on what karma or whatever past life or limiting beliefs are. That it's not a long, tedious journey to work through it to remove it, but it can be gone in an instant with your conviction.